Greetings once again. Welcome you to my YouTube channel. In this video, we'll be answering the preparatory examination of 2025 Gauteng Province. Paper 1, the whole of paper 1, which is question 1 up to question 5. So let's just go straight to the questions. With question 1 here, it says, Table 1 below gives the definitions and terminology used in mathematical literacy. Match the terminology in column B with the definition in column A. Write only the letter A to G next to question number 1.1 up to 1.1.5. E.g., it's like that. Value of one currency relative to the value of another currency. This one we know that is exchange rate, and exchange rate is D. So the correct answer for 1.1.1 is D. Then we move to the next question. The rate charged per units for services or product. We know that this is tariffs, and our tariffs here is letter F. Then 1.1.3 says that the compulsory tax charge for the consumptions of goods or services. In this case, we know this is the value added tax, which is E, letter E. Number 3 is letter E. Then number 4, 1.1.4, it says that an entry into the account will show money paid into their account. Money coming in the account, we know that is what? It's a credit, which is G. Which is G. Credit is the money coming into the account. You should not forget that. Number 5, it says that an increase in the price of a basket of goods or services that represent the economy as a whole. Obviously, we know this is inflation. Inflation is represented by letter B here in this question. So we've answered 1.1.1 up to 1.1.5. Let's move to 1.2. 1.2, it says that tariffs or traffic delay and fatalistic are caused by an increase in the number of vehicles on the roads. Statistics South Africa has recorded the number of registered vehicles in South Africa per province from March 2023 to March 2024. Study the table 2 below and use it to answer the question that follows. Okay, we have provinces here: Gauteng, KZN, Western Cape, Eastern Cape, Free State, Mpumalanga, Northwest, Limpopo, Northern Cape, and the Republic of South Africa, which is the total. March 2023 and March 2024. Okay, it's fine. We have those numbers there. Gauteng, which is 4,997,033. It was March 2023, and then 2024 it was 5,070,287, just like that. So let's move to that first question. It says that which province registered the second highest number of vehicles in March 2023? So when we move to March 2023, we can see that the highest country, or the highest province, is Gauteng, but they won the second highest, which is Western Cape. We can see Western Cape is the second highest with 2,116,228. So you have to write the province, not the number. So the province is Western Cape. So we're going to say 1.2.1. The answer here is Western Cape. Western Cape. Then 1.2.2. 1.2.2, it says that write down the number of vehicles registered in the Republic of South Africa in March 2023 in words. So we go to March 2023. You can see that the Republic of South Africa, it goes with 13,023,833 cars. Don't forget, we are dealing with cars here, but you don't have to write cars. 13,023,833. Moving to the next question. Let me divide. We're going to have 1.2.3 there. It says that calculate the missing value of A, the number of vehicles registered in the Western Cape in March 2024. So now they want us to calculate the value of A. This is very simple. Just say A is equal to, you concentrate on that column of 2024. A is equal to, if you check here, we can see that we are having the total of 13,195,793. This is the total that we have here under the Republic of South Africa. So this amount which is highlighted, we are going to remove or subtract every number that is above it. So we can start from 5 million from Gauteng. Gauteng is 5 million minus 5,070,287 minus the second one is 1,773,639 minus 2,155,489 minus we move to 647,154 minus 933,276 minus 667,276 minus 600 here we are going to say minus 792,815 minus 295,238. So we just take this 13 million, we remove the numbers that is above it. That's how we find the value of A. And when we use our calculator, we found that the value of A is 860,263. Using a calculator, that is the value of A. Then 1.2.4. 1.2.4, it now says that express the number of vehicles registered in a free state in March 2024 as a percentage of the total number of vehicles registered in the Republic of South Africa in March 2024. So we are using this formula. Percentage is equal to the small amount divided by a big amount multiplied by 100. So what do we mean by a small amount and a big amount? So in this case, we are dealing with a free state. We are dealing with a free state and the Republic of South Africa. So if we check here, we have a certain amount or the certain number of vehicles in the free state, which is 647. This one is 647,154. Then the Republic of South Africa is 13,195,793. So we are having these two numbers. So what you need to do is to check which one is small between the two and which one is big between the two. So in this case, we can see that the free state is the small amount, which is 647,154. over the Republic of South Africa, which is 13,195,793 multiplied by 100. Then we use a calculator to find the percentage of a free state vehicles here, registered vehicles. We found that it is 4.9%. 4.9%. 4.9%. So moving right along to 1.2.5. 1.2.5, it says that determine the difference between the number of vehicles registered in the Northern Cape and the Northwest in 2024 March. So we just have to go to these two provinces and only use the column of 2024, and we found the difference between this. It's very simple, level 1 question. So it's going to be 667,000 and 632 minus 295,000 and 238. What is the difference between the two when we use a calculator? We found that the difference between the two is 372,394. Then 1.2.6. 1.2.6, it says that identify the province that had the highest number of registered vehicles in March 2024. So when we look at the March 2024, we can see that the highest number that we have here is 5 million, which is Gauteng province. So the answer for this is going to be Gauteng. Gauteng province. Okay, 1.3. Let's look at 1.3. It says, Busi extracted part of her municipal account statement to check the amount she had to pay toward her bills. Study table 3 below and answer the question that follows. So if you can check, we are having the date, we are having details, we have VAT exclusive amount, we have VAT inclusive amount. If we check here, the first one on the 12/12/2024, the balance brought forward, it was 1,749 and 70 cents. VAT amount there is 0. So the VAT inclusive amount, that it's the same amount that we had in the VAT exclusive. And then on the 24th of December 2024, the payment that was made, it was negative 200. VAT amount was 0. Inclusive amount is negative 200. Then the 25th December 2024, the payment that was made, it was negative 1,330. VAT amount is that amount, 00. And then inclusive amount doesn't change. And then we have the subtotal then of 219 and 70 cents. VAT amount is 00. And then the subtotal is 219 and 70 cents. And then we move to the 12th of January 2025. We have a property rate with the hashtag, which is 305. VAT amount there is 0. Then the inclusive still the same. The very same date we have water, which is 161 and 42. VAT amount is 24 rand and 21 cent. Then the inclusive amount became 185. So if you can check the water here, water, there is VAT charge on water. Then we move on the sanitation. We also have VAT charge on the sanitation. Then the VAT are saying VAT is 15% here. The total levy, we have 561 and 55. And then the C, then we have 603 cents. Then they're saying that the total payable is A plus B, which is D, 819 and 76. Note that hashtag means for 0 rated. You should not forget that. That hash stands for what? 0 rated. So the first question says that identify the 0 rated service from the municipal account statement. So what we need to do, we know that the 0 rated service is represented by hash. we go to our statement and check if we do have a hash on the statement. Yes, we do have a hash. The hashtag that we get here is from what? Property rates. So our answer here is property rate. Property rate. That is our answer. Moving right along to 1.3.2. 1.3.2, it says that determine the value of C, the VAT charged. So now they want you to determine the value of C, which is the value charged. Is very simple. We can just find the difference between 600 and 551. So C in this case can be calculated by saying 603 cents minus 561.55. Can just find the difference between the two, or other ways. There are many ways of doing this. And the difference here, when we use a calculator, we found that is 38 rands and 48 cents. 1.3.3. 1.3.3, it says that show by means of calculations that the value of D, which is VAT exclusive total payable amount, is 781.25. So they want you to calculate the VAT exclusive, which is of D. So how do you calculate a VAT exclusive of that amount? So it's very simple also. Don't forget, they said A plus B is going to give us what? D. So A plus is going to give us D. So A there, if we can check A, we're having 219.70, and then B, we're having 561.55. So we can say D is equals to A plus B. That's what they give us on the statement. They said the total payable amount, A plus B, is equals to D. So D is the same as A plus B. And what is the value of A? The value of A is 219.70. Plus B, what is the value of B? Is 561.55. So we use a calculator to find the combination here. We found that is 781.25. Let's move to question 2. It says that, see, this sells traditional belt. The cost of producing each belt is 90 rand. She sell each belt for 270. She pay a monthly rental fee of 800 rand for a stall and a monthly rental fee of 100 rand for a machine she uses to produce the belt. Income and expenditure of the selling traditional belt is table 4. So you can see that when this person, the number of items, when the number of items are 0, the income is also 0, but the expenses is age. So you should not forget the expenses is going to be what? The value of the fixed amount, and the fixed amount that we are having in this statement is 800 plus 100 rand. That's in case they say find the value of A. So that's what we are going to do. So I want us to begin to answer this question, which is 2.1.1. 2.1.1, it says that calculate the total fixed cost, which is the value of A, of selling the traditional belt. Already explained about this to say that the fixed amount that we are having in this statement is 800 for rental of a stall and 100 for rental of a machine. So the two will give us how much? 900 rand. So this 900 rand is going to be the fixed amount each and every month. So we move to 2.1.2. 2.1.2, it says that show that the income that CD will receive from selling 5 traditional belt is 1,350. So what you need to understand is that if you go back to the table, you can see that when the number of items are 1, she's making an income of 270. It means that one belt is 270. So for selling 5 of them, how much is this person going to receive? Gonna say 5 belt multiplied by 270, because we know that each belt is sold at the price of 270, and 5 multiplied by 270 is 1,350. We have proven that amount. Then 2.1.3. 2.1.3 says that determine the value of P. Now they want us to determine the value of P. We already know that one belt is how much? One belt is 270. We can still use that to say that she have made the total amount of 2,160, and one belt is 270. You can just divide. Then we found that the value of P is going to be 8 belts, meaning that she have sold 8 belts for her to receive 2,160. Then we move to the next question. 2.1.4. 2.1.4, then we're having A and B here. Identify the break-even coordinate from the table above. Don't forget, when they talk about the break-even, is where the income and expenses are equal. So if you look at this table, we can see that at 5, after selling 5 belt, that's where she break the even. So 5 belt, it goes with 1,350. At this coordinate, that's where the break even points happen. After selling 5 belt, she's going to receive the income of 1,350. And again, for making this 5 belt, it costs her 1,350. So it is our break even. Then B, it says that, hence, determine the number of traditional belt that CD must sell to start making a profit. So if she is receiving a break even at 5, so the profit will begin at 6 belt. So immediately after selling 6 belt, that's where this person is going to start receiving what? 2.1.5. 2.1.5, it says that complete the formula for calculating the total expenses where n represent the number of traditional belt. Write your answer in the form of total expenses. You're gonna say total expenses is equals to, total expenses is equals to what? We know that this person is going to have fixed plus variable. Fixed plus variable. So in this case, our fixed is 900. We have calculated the 900 one. Plus the variable, now we have to check how much does it cost her to make one belt. How much does it cost her to make one belt? It costs her 90 rands. Where do we get the 90 from? We go to the table, we can see that at 1 is 990. And we're saying that 900 is for the fixed cost. So 90 rand is going to be for a variable. So we're going to say 90 multiplied by n. 90 multiplied by n. And we know that n represents the number of belt. So your equation is going to be 900 plus 90 multiplied by n. This 900 is a fixed amount. It's that one of a rental. 90, what it costs, it takes her to make one belt. You should not forget that. Moving to the next question, which is 2.1.6. 2.1.6, it says that for 6 bucks. Very interesting question. Determine the profit that CD will make from selling 100 belt. You may use the formula profit is equals to income minus expenses. Okay, it's fine. So what you need to do first, you must first calculate the total expenses of making 100 belt. Then from there you must also calculate the total income of making 100 belt. Then you find the difference. Then let's begin with the expenses. We're gonna say expenses is going to be, we can use the very same equation, but you should not forget at n we are going to write the number of belt. In this case, the number of belt, they are saying that there are 100. So we are going to say 900 plus 90 multiplied by 100. Number of belt are 100. So let's do the calculation. Look at the expenses of making this 100 belt. We're going to say 900 plus 90 multiplied by 100. So it will take her 9,900 to make 100 belt. So let's look at the income now. The income of 900 belt. How much is she selling one belt? We said is 270 multiplied by 100. So let's look at the income now. 270 multiplied by 100, it is equals to 27,000. She's making 27,000. The income is 27,000 of making 900 belt. So now they want us to calculate what? A profit to be 27,000 minus 990. Oh, 9,900. So the difference between the two is going to be 27,000 minus 9,900. So the profit that she made, it was 17,100 rands. 17,100 rands. So this is how you should have answered this question. What you need to do, you must first determine the expenses of making 100 belt, and then you also have to determine the income of selling 100 belt. Then you find the difference. You'll be able to find what? To find the profit. It says that CD received an order from the local church to produce 250 traditional belt. She borrowed 60,000 from a local bank at an interest rate of 12% PA compounded annually. So the bank have offered her 60,000 with an interest rate of what? 12% per year, compounded annually. Okay, this 12% will be charged once in a year. Now they are saying determine the total amount that she will repay if she repay the loan in 1 year, 6 months. Okay, this is very simple. So what we know is that she will pay the first year, but on the second year she's only gonna pay what? Half of that amount. So what we need to do, we are going to say first year, the interest is 12%, which is 12 over 100, multiplied by 60,000. So we can see that the interest that will be charged on the first year is going to be 7,200. They will charge us 7,200. This is the first year, right? Then the total amount at the end of first year is going to be 7,200 plus the 60,000 that this person have borrowed. Then we found that it's gonna be, this is the amount that you should have, 67,200. This 67,200 at the end of first year. But when we move to second year, is going to be only 6 months. Only 6 months. And the interest rate that was offered to her is for the whole year. So what you need to do in terms of the interest rate, we're going to say 12 divided by 2. 12 divided by 2 is equals to 6%. So now when we calculate for the next 6 months, we are not going to use 100, we are not going to use 12%, we are going to use 6%, because 6% is going to cater for the first 6 months. Don't forget, the whole year is 12 years, is 12%, I mean. But for 6 months, because 6 months is half of a year. So we know that that percentage of the interest rate is going to be divided by 2. So we do the very same calculations, but using 6% instead of using 12%, because this is not a year. They said 1 year and a half. So the following year or the second year, you'll pay for 6 months only. So now let's calculate the 6% of the accumulated amount. We're going to say the interest is going to be 6 over 100 multiplied by 67,200. So we can see that the interest of the second year, which are 6 months, is going to be 4,032. Then the total amount that she will pay is going to be 4,032 plus 67,200. We can see that at the end of this period, this person will have paid how much? 71,000. 71,232. Should have paid 71,232. Then let's move to the next question. I'm going to use this space 2.2.2. It says that determine the amount of interest that she will pay. The interest, simple. Interest is going to be 71,232 minus the original amount borrowed, which was 60,000. So we can see that this person is going to pay the interest of how much? Let me use a calculator. Of 11,000. The interest of 11,232. This is the interest amount that CD is going to pay to the bank. The interest is going to be 11,000. Don't forget, if you have borrowed the money, you have to pay back the 60,000 plus the interest. Then the interest that will be added on that 60,000 is 11,232. Question 3. Let's look at question 3. It says that Lucky extracted the summary of a metric result from the metric result report to determine the variance of each province. Variance is just the difference. The word variance means the difference. Study the summary in table 5 and answer the question that follows. Okay. Now they are saying the total, the province, we are having the province Eastern Cape, Free State, Gauteng up to Western Cape. The total amount of learners who wrote, in bracket they said in million. The moment you see the word in million, you must think of 1 million, which is 1,000,000. Every time when they say in million, think of 1 million. You must put it somewhere else. Maybe you can just write there on top of your question paper with a pencil to say whenever they say in million, think of 1 million, which is 1 and 6 zeros. If they say in billion, you must also think of how to write 1 billion. If they say in trillion, you must also think of how to write 1 billion. If they say in thousand, you must know how to write 1,000. Now they're saying the percentage. We're having the percentage of 2024 and 2023. You can see the percentage there. You can see what happened where we are having numbers, especially the Free State. We can see that it performed at 89%. The other year it was 91%. Then we moved to other one was 86 and then 88, 80, 84. You can see there was a slightly increase most of the time. In most of the provinces, they've increased in terms of their pass rate. So now let's move to the first question. It says that write down the total number of learners who wrote the examination from the Gauteng province in number format. Now you have given this. You go to Gauteng. If you look at Gauteng, it's given as 0.741 million. Don't forget, million in brackets. Now they want you to write this in what? In number format. It's very simple, learners. What you need to do is to remember that million, it means that is 1 with 6 zeros. You just take that decimal number, you multiply it by 1 million. It means that we are now going to say 0.741 multiplied by the 1 million that I told you that you should think of how to write 1 million. This is the only thing that you're supposed to do. Then you just say 0.741 multiplied by 1,000,000. You find that is this amount, 741,000. 3.1.2. 3.1.2, it says that identify the province with less than 100,000 learners. Less than 100,000 learners. So if you check here, we can see that if you can multiply Northern Cape by million, let's multiply. Oh, this is 700 and, oh, yeah, 741,000, yeah, 741,000. So now they want to, a province with less than 100,000. Let's go to the Northern Cape, which is 0.073 multiplied by 1,000,000. We found that it's less than 700,000. It's less than 100,000, I mean. So the Northern Cape is having learners that are less than 100,000. What is the trend observation from the result presented in table 5? Give reason for your answer. I told you that we see a slightly increase in terms of the pass rate. So obviously we are going to say increase. Simple. You don't have to kill yourself. Increase. Give reason. Most of provinces improved. Most provinces improved. Which is 3.1.4. 3.1.4, it says that is the data represented discrete or continuous? Explain your answer. People, we say that discrete is when you count. Continuous is when you measure. So for you to be able to know the number of learners passed, you have to count them. You cannot go to the school and measure learners who passed matric. It's not possible. But you just have to go to the school and count learners who have what? Who have passed your matric, who have passed the matric or the grade 12, I mean. So this is a discrete. Very simple. We are dealing with what? Discrete data. Reason counted. Counted data. You don't have to kill yourself. This a discrete reason. When they say support with a reason, just say counted data. Counted data. Move to 3.1.5. Determine the value of S. The minimum pass percentage if the range of the 2023 pass percentage is given as 14.5%. 13%. You may use. So every time when they say range, you know that you must go to what? Your range concept. And we know that when we calculate the range, you're going to say range is equals to highest minus lowest. And they've given you the range here. They are saying range is 14.3%, which is equals to, if you check, they are saying that S is going to be the lowest number. So we just have to go to 2023 and obtain the highest percentage that we have in that year. What is the highest percentage here? It's 89.7. Highest percentage is 89.7 minus S, because now they are saying S is going to be our what? Is going to be our lowest. That's the only thing that you're supposed to do. Then from here you transpose the 89 to the other side to join the 14. We are now going to have 14.3 minus 89.7 is equals to minus S. Use a calculator. Say 14.3 minus 89.7. We find that our answer here is negative 75.4, which is equals to negative S. So now, because we're having negative and negative, you are more than welcome to cancel these negatives. You just cancel them. We know that S now is equals to 75.4. It doesn't matter whether I've written it at the left hand side or right hand side. I haven't changed anything. A is equals to B is still the same as B is equals to A. Don't be confused because I'm having S this side and then 75 this side. It's still the same, my good people. And then moving to the next question, which is 3.1.5. 3.1.6, I mean. 3.1.6, now they are saying that calculate the value of T if the mean, you see, now they're introducing the mean concept. And we know that mean is equals to sum of values divided by total values. Sum of values divided by total values. Now they are saying that the mean of 2024 is equals to 85.5%. So they've given you the mean to say that mean is 85.5. Is equals to the sum. How do we calculate the mean? We know that we add everything. We add everything together. So that's what we are going to do. We are going to say T plus 91.9 plus 88.5 plus 84.7 plus, okay, because you are here, let me just do this. We are going to say T plus all these numbers that we have here, 91.9 plus all these numbers, because of space here. We're going to say plus 91.9 plus 85, 88.5 plus 84.7 plus 88.6 plus 83.5 plus 86.6 plus 76.5 plus T. We divide this by the total numbers that we have. How many numbers do we have here? We're having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're having 9. We're going to divide this by 9. So now when we move to the next step, we're going to say 85.5 is equals to, if you check, we're having T plus T. What is T plus T? Is 2T. T plus T is 2T. Plus what? Plus all these numbers that we have added here, which we are going to use a calculator to find the total of all these numbers that we're having between T and T, which is 600.3. We are still dividing this by 9. And you should not forget, if we're having a fraction at the right hand side, you can also try to have a fraction at the left hand side by dividing this by 1. When you divide by 1, you are not changing anything. You can take your calculator, say 85 85.5 divided by 1 is still gonna give you 85.5. We are just trying to make this to be so easy for us when we do the calculation, making fraction at the left hand side and right hand side, so that when you do the cross multiplication, you'll be able to do the calculation in a best way. So now we do the cross multiplication. What do we mean by cross multiplication? You take this 1, you multiply with this. You take this 85, you multiply with 9. That is the cross multiplication. And you should not forget, anything multiplied by 1 remain that thing. So it means that 2t plus 600,3 is still going to be that, because we are multiplying it with what? With 1. So we are now going to have, we are moving to this side, we are going to have 2t plus 600,3 is equals to, now we're going to say 85.5 multiplied by 9. 85.5 multiplied by 9, it gives us 769.5. So don't forget, we are looking for the value of t. We are now going to transpose the 600.3 to the other side. And then we remain with t only, the other side. 2t is equals to 769.5 minus 600.3. 2t is equals to, let's find the difference between the 2 minus 600.3. We find that the difference between the two is 169.2. So once you reach here, you can see that we are looking for t. The question said find the value of t, not the value of 2t. So because we are looking for the value of t, we are now going to divide everything by 2, so that this 2 and the 2 can cancel. We remain with t is equals to, then we divide that by 2. When we divide that by 2, we are going to find 84.6. 84, it was 5 marks. 5 marks for free. Let's move along to 3.3. 3.2, I mean. I believe you are with me. You are not lost. If you are lost, make sure that you repeat this video or this step as many as you can. You'll be able to understand it. Moving right along, Lucky extracted data from the 10 educational districts with the highest number of high-risk learners to investigate their performance from the matric result. Study table 6 below and answer the question that follows. We have this district, Ekurhuleni up to Tshwane South. Total road, we are having 15,953. People don't get confused. They never said in million. We are not going to multiply this by million. They've never said in million. So we are not going to multiply this by million. We leave it the way it is. The other side, the total number of high-risk learners, even the number of high-risk learners, they never said in million. So we leave it the way it is. So moving to the next question, which is 3.2.1, express as a ratio in units form the total number of high-risk learners in the Tshwane South to the total number who wrote in Tshwane South. So you are not allowed to change this pattern. High risk, they're saying high risk is to what? Total number of high risk of learners in Tshwane South to the total number who wrote. Total number who wrote. High risk is to number who wrote. And then this one is Tshwane South district. So we are dealing with Tshwane South. High risk and those who wrote. So we have to begin with the high risk. If you look at the high risk of Tshwane South, you can see that it's 1,060. 1060. What about those who wrote 15,657? 15,657. So this is the high risk of Tswana South. This is the number of learners who wrote in Tswana South. So you are not allowed to begin with 15,000 then. So now, because they said your answer must be in a unit form, it means that you must have 1:something. And for you to be able to get to 1:something, you must divide by this number, always the left-hand side number. Divide everything by the left-hand side number when they say the unit format. So when you take your calculator, say 1060 divided by 1060, you're going to get 1. Then you write is 2. Then 15,657 divide by 1060. We are now going to get 14,77. 14,77. They've never said anything about rounding to the whole number or what. You can leave it like that. You don't have to stress yourself. As we move around, as we move along to the next question, the next question is going to be 3.2.2. 3.2.2, it says that arrange the number of high-risk learners from all the districts in ascending order. I fainted when I marked this script. When I mark this question, I mean, because we have some learners who don't know how to arrange in ascending order. Ascending order means from the smallest to biggest. From the smallest to biggest. That's what you need to do. Number of what? High risk learners. All the districts. So you just have to go to this column and begin to arrange from the smallest to the highest. So if you can check here, because of time, I'm not going to arrange this because I know you are very good on this one. The smallest number is 783. That is the smallest number that we have. It's going to be 783. The highest number is 1,161. So you're going to arrange it like this. I'm not saying that you must only write these two numbers. I'm saying that you should arrange. We do have numbers in between 170, 783 and 1161. You must arrange all those numbers. And then 3.2.3. It now says that, hence, complete the 5-point summary. This question, you cannot answer it if you do not arrange correctly. So for that reason, we are forced to arrange. So we have to arrange this. Let me erase everything here so that I can get enough space. I was lazy to arrange, but when I moved to the next question, I realized that it wants us to arrange. There's nothing that we can do without arranging these numbers. Before we begin to answer this question, 783, and then 824, 837, 865, 911, 926, 946, 1060, 195, 161. So we have to arrange them like this. Let me count them. If I've arranged all of them, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Let me count here if I'm also having 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Yes, everything is fine. So if you can look at the table that they want us to do, they want us to have the minimum, Q1, 2, 3, and the max. So people, before you can do anything, you can see that the minimum, it means the lowest number, which is 783. The max, it means the highest number, which is 1161. I've never expected you to get 0 in this question, because already you know what is your lowest number and what is your highest number. At least, even if you can stop here, you can jam here, it's understandable. But it becomes a problem when you don't even know what is your minimum, what is your maximum here. And the minimum, it means that the lowest number that we have here, which is 783. Maximum means the highest number that we have here, which is 1161. Then Q2, in this case, they said median. What is a median? A middle number. Median is a middle number. So you just have to move around here and check what is your middle number. Because we are having 10 numbers. So we go to position 5 from left and position 5 from right. We are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Position 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Position 5 again. So we are now going to find our Q2, or our median, between these two numbers. So what do we need to do? We are going to say median is going to be 911 plus 926. We divide this by 2. We'll be able to find our median. Use a calculator here. We're going to say 911 plus 926 divided by 2. Then our median is 918,5. Our median is here. That's why we're getting our median in between them. So median is going to be 918,5. So after the median, we are having the lower part and the upper part of this. So you can see that this is our what? Our upper cap, our upper part. So out of this upper part, we can see that this is our median again. If we can count from this number to this one. So this one, we call it Q3. So our Q3 here is 1060. It's very simple to do this. And then our Q1, we look at the lower part of this. Let's look at the lower part. Let's look at the median from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can see that the median is this one, which is our Q1. Our Q1 is what? 837. Simple as that. We are done. 6 marks for free. The examiner wanted you to get distinction on this question paper. They wanted you to get distinction. I don't want to lie, because everything was super easy here. So we are done with question 3. We are moving to question 4. As we move to question 4. Question 4, it says that Thelma is a 67 years old manager at Zenzel Holding. She received an annual salary of 680,000. She will also receive a bonus equal to her monthly salary during 2025 tax year. She donated 30% of her annual salary to the local orphanage. Use table 7 below to answer the question that follows. Now they are saying the very much important thing is that the individual can donate a maximum of 100,000 over the period of 1 year. Now we have this text table. We understand the text table. The rebates, rebates, don't forget. A person who qualifies for a primary rebate qualifies for that rebates only. But a person who qualifies for a secondary rebate qualify for secondary and primary. A person who qualifies for tertiary is tertiary secondary, and what? And primary. So let's look at the first question. Now they are saying that determine the rebate amount. Amount is numbers, people. When we talk about amounts, we know that we are dealing with numbers. They never say determine the rebate for which Telma qualify. The rebate amount. We know that it's a primary and secondary because she's 67 years old, and 67 years is between what? It's just above 65. So this person qualifies for primary and secondary rebate. But you cannot just write primary and secondary rebate. They want you to write the amount. So we just have to add the two. We are now going to say 17,235 plus 9,444. Addition, you have to add the two. Because most of you decided to write primary and secondary. You think that everything is fine. Nothing was fine then. Everything was wrong. You have to add the two. Then we found that it's 26,679. Then 4.1.2. 4.1.2, it says that calculate her annual gross salary. The annual gross salary. So now they are saying this person is receiving 680,000 plus the bonus. So the only thing that we need to do is to find out how much is her bonus. Then we go and add it to this amount. Then we are done. But they're saying that bonus is equal to her monthly salary. So what we can do, we can just say a bonus is going to be 680,000 divided by 12. Now we'll be able to understand how much is her bonus amount. Because this amount, she's earning that amount in a year. So if you can divide it by 12, we'll find her monthly income. This person is earning 56,000. 56,666 and 67 cents in a month. So the gross of this person is going to be 680,000 plus the bonus. We just calculated the bonus. We said is 56,666 and 67. So the gross of this Telma is going to be 73,000 or 736. 736,666 and 67 cents. This is the gross of Telma. 4 marks for free. 4 marks for free. And now the next question that's saying, show with calculation that Telma annual donation is 100,000. It's 100,000. Very simple question, but you were sweating in the exam room because of this question, because you did not read to understand the statement. What you need to do is to understand that this person is contributing how much? 30%. 30%, which is this, multiplied by 680,000. So when we calculate the 30% of 680,000, we found that is 204,000. 204,000. But the statement say that the maximum is what? Is 100,000. You can say therefore max is 100,000. She cannot pay more than 100,000. The max is 100,000. That's the reason why she's donating 100,000. And then 4.1.4. 4.1.4 say determine the annual tax income. Determine Thelma's annual taxable income. It's very simple. Taxable income is going to be that amount that she earned in a year, which is 736,666,67 minus the non-taxable. In this case, our non-taxable is only 100,000 because this is the amount that she's donating. So her taxable income is going to be 636,666 and 67. So when we are going to calculate tax, this is the amount that we are going to use. It is our taxable income. Now, moving to the next question. 4.1.5, they are saying that use table 7 to identify the tax brackets. So we go to the tax brackets and check, where do you think 636,000 is located? You can see that it's tax bracket number 4. Brackets 4. Brackets 4. So she falls under bracket number 4. How easy it was to answer this question. So simple. And then 4.1.6. It says that Thelma claimed that a person under the age of 65 with a taxable income of 95,750 per month does not qualify to pay tax in 2025 tax year. Show using calculation whether her claim is correct or not. So what we understand is that a person who earns a taxable income of 95,000 falls under the first bracket, and first bracket is only 18%. So we're going to say 18 over 100 multiplied by this amount of 95,750. So let's get an answer on this one. We found that it's 17,235. This is the amount of tax this person supposed to pay. But again, we should not forget, we have to remove the rebates. We have the age of the person minus rebates. How old is the person? They are saying the person is under 65, meaning that is under the primary rebates. What is our primary rebate here? If we check 17,000. 235. Use a calculator here. We can see that this person is going to pay 0 tax. Then the statement is valid. This statement here is valid because when we do the calculation, we found that the person is going to pay 0 rands. Moving to the next question, which is 4.2. 4.2.1. Thelma went to a local restaurant to buy ice cream. The ice cream may be plain, depend in caramel, depend in chocolate. She can decorate with nuts, meats, and smoothies. Then we have this tree diagram here with the possible outcomes. Complete the 3 diagrams in the spaces provided below. Roman figure 1. if you can check the Roman figure 1 there, what does it want? We are having P, C, A. This one is going to be for a C, which is a chocolate. Roman figure 2. Let's look at Roman figure 2. What does it want? Obviously, we have P, M, meaning that this one is going to be what? M, meat. Roman figure 3. Let's look at Roman figure 3. Roman figure 3 is going to be the combination of Roman figure 1, which is C and S. Then we are done with this question. We move to the next one, 4.2.2. 4.2.2 says that determine the probability of buying an ice cream without caramel. Express your answer as a decimal. Round off to 1 decimal. Without caramel. So what we know is that we're having 9 options. We're going to divide by 9. We're having 9 options. We're going to divide by 9. So they're saying without what? Without caramels. So if you can check, we're only having 3 options with caramels. It means that 6 of them are without caramels. So it's 9 over 6 or 6 over 9. 6 divided by 9, it is equals to 0.06667. And then they said we should round off to what? 1 decimal place, which is 0.7. 0.7. It was simple and straightforward. Now we need a space to answer the last question. Last question, I can just answer it here. Let me use different pens so that we'll be able to see it, which is 4.2.3. Name one advantage of selling different flavors of ice cream. Different flavors of ice cream to attract more people, cater for more people. Cater for more people. Cater for more people. It was 29 marks, question 4. What a simple and interesting question. Now we are moving to question 5. Question 5. Ole has a business delivering goods to various companies. The diagram below represents the weekly income of the drivers, grouped according to the mode of transport that they use. Study the diagram below and answer the question that follows. We have a motorbike. You can see the minimum is 200, the maximum is approximately 1,600. We have a car. Minimum is 200, and then the maximum is around 1,400. But if you look at the median of a motorbike is around 800. Then median of a car is around 1,000. So you can see that a car is making a lot of amount because 50% of the employers, they are making around 1,000, which is more than that one of a motorbike. The first question, which mode of transport generate more income? I just explained this one. We said it's a car. The car is the one that is making more income. Why? Because 50% they generate more than 1,000. 50% makes more than 1,000. We get it from the median. We get it from the median. Then moving to the next question, 5.1.2. It says, the company has 300 motorbike drivers. How many motorbike drivers are generating an income greater than the upper quintile? Don't forget, upper quintile, we're talking about what, 75%. This is what we call the box and whisker diagram. on this box and whisker diagram, in terms of the percentage, we are having 0%, 25%, 50%, 75%, and 100%. So now they are saying that it has 300 motorbike drivers. How many generating the income greater than upper quartile? We are talking about this part because this is minimum Q1, Q2, and Q3. Upper quintile is Q3. So we are looking for this part, people. And if you can check, this part is 25%. This part is 25%. So we can just say 25% of 300 people. 25 over 100 of 300 people is 75. We can just do it. It's simpler in that way. So moving to the next question, 3. It says that the maximum income for motorbike car drivers represented on the graph was increased by 20% due to the high demand. Calculate the original maximum income before the increase. Now they are saying that this was increased by what? By 20%. If they increase by 20%, it means that we are now talking about what? 120%. Because it increased by 20%. The original 100% of workers, they've increased by 20%. So now we are having what? We are having 120%. So when we do the calculation, we are going to calculate from this point of view to understand that we have 120% now. And now they are saying that the maximum income for motorbike car drivers represented on the graph was increased by 20%. Calculate the original price. So if you check here, the maximum here in the motorbike is 1,600. We just have to calculate the amount before the increase of 1,600. So it's very simple. Just gonna say the opposite, which is 100 over 120 multiplied by 1,600. Where do we get 1,600 from? We're getting 1,600 from this graph of motorbike. So the answer here, the answer is going to be 1,333. 1,333. 1,233 and 33 cents. Moving to the next question, 1.5.1.4. It says, determine the interquartile range of the income generated by what? By car drivers. We know that interquartile range is equals to Q3 minus Q1. In this case, we know that our Q3 is 1,200. 1,200. And then our Q1 here in this case is 400. The difference between the two is how much? Is 800. So let's move to the 5.2. 5.2. So if you look at 5.2, it says that Pule ordered more motorbikes from India and paid 3,000 Indian rupees for shipping. The cost for each motorbike is 12,000 Indian rupees. 1 Indian is equals to 0.21 South African rand. So if you can check here, you pay less using South African rands. This makes South African rands to be a strong currency. You pay less using South African rands. It makes South African rand to be what? To be a strong currency. So now they are saying which currency is stronger between South African rands, and Indian rupee. So we can see that South African rands is strong. South African rands is strong. Why? Because you pay less. You pay less with South African rands. You're gonna pay less with South African rands. So it make it to be what? To be the strongest currency. So the next question here. The next question says that will 30,000 be enough to buy 12 motorbikes and pay for shipping? Show all the calculations. So now we have to check if this 30,000 will be enough to buy 12 motorbikes and also pay for shipping. So we can start by what? Converting to the same units. Obviously, we cannot use different units in terms of comparison. Every time when you compare, make sure that you use the same units. We can just say 30,000. Well, let's divide this by 0.21 and see how much are we going to get here. 30,000 using a calculator, divide by 0.21. I get 142. So I've converted South African rands to rupees. It gives me 142,857.14. So this 30,000 rands is the same as 142,857 rupees. So now we have converted this to rupees. No? It's no longer rands. Is it rupees? Rupee. Yeah, rupee. So everything is in rupee now. So now we have to remove what? We want to check if this amount will be able to buy 12 motorbikes and ship them. How much is the shipping? The shipping is 3,000. So we have to remove 3,000 from this amount. Remove 3,000. We'll remove 3,000. Let's say minus 3,000 here. Minus 3,000 will remain with 13,000 or 139,857 and 14. So this is the amount that we have. And then we know that one motorbike is equal to how much? It's equal to 12,000. So let's divide it by 12,000 here to check if we'll be able to get 12 motorbikes. Divide by 12,000. Then we found that this will be only be able to pay or to buy 11 motorbikes. We're talking about 11 motorbikes. We cannot say, okay, let me just read, 65476. It's motorbikes, people. So because it's motorbikes, we cannot go buy full motorbikes and half of it. So we know this amount can only buy 11 instead of 12. So the amount is what? It's not enough. Not enough. The amount is not enough because it only pay what? For 12 motorbikes. Only 2 questions left for us to complete with this paper 1. Only 2 questions. I'll do it quickly. 2 questions of 11 marks. 5.2.3. Now it says that name 2 advantage of buying item online. Time saving. transport money saving also. You save time, you also save money for transport. You don't have to go to the shop. You can do the shopping at your home. The last question, which is 5.3, it says that Tuli paid 270 to refill her 4 kg gas canister. It was announced that the gas price will increase to 6,761 cents per kg in February. Calculate the expected percentage increase. You may use this equation. So what we know is that we have to calculate the cost per kg first. We know that she's paying 240 per kg. But how much is a kg? 1 kg. 1 kg is going to be 270 divided by 4. So when we divide it by 4, we can see that 1 kg, it is 67 rand and 50 cents. So now we know the price of a 1 kg. So now, because the other amount is given in cents, we must also convert this to cents. How do you convert rands to cents? Relationship between rands and cents, we know that is what? Is 100 cents. We just have to multiply this by what? By 100. So that everything can be in cents. So when we multiply this by 100, we are going to get 6750 cents. So 1 kg was 6,750 cents. And now the new price is 6,761 cents. So now let's look at the increase percentage. Percentage is equal to new price minus old price divided by old price, multiply by what? Multiply by 100. The new price, now saying that it's going to be 6,761. The old price was 6,750. All this divided by 6,750, multiply by 100. Let's use a calculator for the last time. 6,761 minus 6,750 over 6,750 multiplied by 100. The increase is 0.16%. 0.16%. The increase is 0.16%. So it's going to increase by 0.16%. 0.16%. 34 marks. This is the end of question 5. And it's also the end of paper 1 discussion. Thank you very much for watching this video. I will also upload paper 2 in no time. Thank you very much. I'll see you when we discuss paper 2. Stay blessed.